Hi, my name is Carly. I'm the Director of Outreach at the Place for Children with Autism. Every couple of days, we're going to come on here and talk about a different topic to help families at home. And if you have a suggestion, feel free to email that over to me. I'd be happy to incorporate that for future topics. Today, however, we're going to talk about behavior management tips and strategies. So children with autism typically exhibit some type of challenging behavior. That might be aggression, property destruction, self-injury, tantrums. And these are common characteristics of autism, but they might be more intense than a typically developing peer that does not have autism. And a major reason for that is that these challenging behaviors are a way to communicate. So oftentimes children with autism might have a limited verbal repertoire. And so these behaviors, having tantrums, crying, is a way to get their needs and wants met. And if you think about it from infancy, that's how we learn to communicate. As a very, very small infant, we cry if we want milk, attention, to be held. And as we progress, our verbal repertoires kick in where we can express what we want, but for some children with autism, that's not always the case. It's beyond, that's why ABA, we work so heavily on communication. It's one of the major reasons. But it's beyond the scope of this current blog post, this video, to go into exact detail on how to respond to problem behavior. That typically requires a board-certified behavior analyst to really look at the behavior, observe why it's happening, come up with a good plan. But there are some general strategies that we can use that are very helpful. And this is all on the PDF that's attached as well if you want to follow along. So the first one is to point out behaviors that you like in your child, or in other words, catch them being good. There's a lot of research to support that just pointing out the behaviors you like in a child can reduce challenging behaviors a lot. And I think in our society, children often act up. And the children that act up in classrooms or at home are the ones that get the most attention. Even negative attention is attention. Those are the kids that get, a lot of that. And so we really need to switch our gears here. And we need to respond to children that are doing things we want to see more of. So catch your child being good is my main one. I love the way you're sharing with your brother. That is so awesome. I love the way that you just followed the instruction the first time I asked. Right? These very behavior-specific praise, if praise functions as a reinforcer for your child, are going to be effective to see more of the behaviors you want to see. The second strategy is to tell your children what to do instead of telling them what not to do. Again, a societal thing. I think we oftentimes say, don't do this, don't run in the house, don't turn away when I'm talking to you. But instead, I urge you to change the way you speak a little bit into what to do instead. And oftentimes our children with autism, they might not know what to do. And so it's helpful to tell them. So instead of saying, don't run in the house, please walk slowly. Or don't color on the table, you might say, I need you to color on this piece of paper instead. And I love telling children what to do because you can then prompt through the task. So we can practice a little bit. Don't steal the toy from your brother. Share with your brother. And then you can prompt them to give the toy back. Don't play with your food. Don't touch the food. Use a fork, right? So instead of saying, don't touch the food, you might say use a fork. And then you can hand over hand prompt them to put the bite in their mouth. So there's a lot of different ways to change your language and then prompt through the desired response that you want. The last thing I want to talk about is to set up fun reward systems in your house for following instructions. Getting compliance with any child, autism or not, is difficult. And one way to make it a little bit more fun and increase compliance is to reward the simple tasks. We do this all the time at our clinics. And so there are non-preferred tasks that are going to be happening all day, whether it's cleaning up your toys, educational tasks, putting your clothes away. And I urge you to make your own token board. There's one on the PDF that's attached. And so if you can see by the one attached, there's 5 little boxes. And each time your child completes something, you put a token on there. Maybe it's a star, maybe it's their favorite TV show character. And then once they fill up that board, so maybe 5 tokens, they get a much larger reward. An iPad, watching a movie with mom, access to their favorite toy. And so you can call those token instructions, right? Like, I'm giving you a token instruction. Are you ready? Pick up toy 1. Put a token on the board. Pick up that toy over there, 2. Put your clothes in the hamper, 3rd token, until they get 5. And they can exchange that for their iPad or whatever their most preferred item is. You can also do a marble jar for your whole family, where every time you catch someone being good, a marble goes in the jar. When the marble jar is complete, pizza party, family movie night, things like that. I hope these were helpful. Feel free to check out our blog if you want some more ideas. That's the place for children with autism /blog. And if you have any questions or need anything, feel free to reach out to me via email. Okay, thanks so much. Have a great day.